G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game. We're here on the brand new expansion for Age of Empires 4. This is the Sultan's Ascent. Today we are once again playing on the Himiyama map, a new map for Age of Empires 4 with this expansion. Let's introduce our players for today. In the color red, spawning on the west point of the map. Playing as the Mongols representing my insanity, we've got Urk. And on the east side of the map, in the color orange, playing as the Byzantines, we've got FAQ. Now, we don't know exactly who this player is. We think he's either Puppy Paw or... who was the other one? It was Puppy Paw or somebody else. I can't oh, that's right, Magic. It was either Puppy Paw or Magic. But we don't know for certain. And those are just rumors. So, look, we're just going to call him FAQ for today. Maybe just call him our Byzantine friend. Who knows exactly how it's going to go down, but look, I'm excited. We're getting to see a wonderful matchup here today. An old Civ versus a new Civ, and not just any new Civ. This is the civilization that is on the cover of the box, and we see an early olive grove coming down here for the Byzantines. And I got to say, I like this a lot. I'm a big fan of silly little things like this that you might look at it and go, it doesn't really make a lot of difference. It does. This changes a lot of things, but we'll get into that later. And before we get into anything else, let me just ask you, if you're enjoying this Age of Empires 4 content, please minimize the video, go down, like it, and then open it back up, because it really helps out the traction of the videos. So, let's tune in with Urk and see how he's doing. Now, for anybody who's unfamiliar, Urk and I actually go way back. Way back. We used to play Age of Empires 3 together. Now, when I say together, that doesn't mean that we were friends. In fact, I actually remember playing against Urk in a world championship, and it was a world championship. Whoa, what was the year? 2008, I want to say, and it was the grand final. And guess who didn't win? Yeah, it was him. He didn't win. We won. It was good. It was good fun. We took down his team. That was the good old days. Age of Empires 3. Oh man, they were the days. I actually got to meet Urk when I went over to Germany for the Red Bull Walla Lol. I got to have a chat with him, and we reminisced about old times. It's kind of weird meeting somebody after, you know, speaking to them for so long online, or not speaking to them and knowing them online for so long. I had the same sort of thing when I met Lenok the first time. I was like, you know, I used to watch this guy back when StarCraft 2 came out. I remember him doing Gangnam Style. I think it was Gangnam Style. I remember him doing some silly dance back when it surely wasn't Gangnam Style. Gangnam Style was like, what was Gangnam Style? That was like 2011, I want to say. Maybe, yeah, 2012, maybe somewhere around that region. But anyway, it was the same sort of thing when I met them. But Urk making a little bit of an error here, running underneath the town center. Going to cop quite a bit of damage on that first spearman. One of the cardinal rules I like to use with these early Dark Age aggression tactics is to always make sure your spears are behind a scout or have a frame of reference, that being a spawn of berries, that being a spawn of gold, something to indicate, okay, that's where the spawn is, so I know the town center is going to be very, very close by. The problem is, he was going into no man's land here, and as a result, lost a spearman. It might not seem like a big deal, but it starts to add up. All right, well, let's check in over with FAQ. The age up's coming through. It's going to be the Grand Winery. And I think this is pretty smart. Opting for the Grand Winery in this position makes a lot of sense, because we can already, you know, determine or state some things. Like, going for the early olive grove is going to get immediate value from the Grand Winery from that, buffing that up, because normally you wouldn't see that for quite some time. And look at this, the barracks going to be coming down here, looking maybe to get out an early Lamentinai as an option for him. He's kind of stuck underneath this town center. You can see he's got barely any villagers out there, no gold. Wait, speaking of no, hold on. Oh, did he long range gather? How did he get gold? I wasn't even paying attention. I was too busy reminiscing about old times. If he had deleted the mining camp, we would see it. What? I'm gonna have to go back and watch that, because I got no idea what happened there, but I can only assume that he has just done a bit of long distance gathering. Otherwise, we would see the deleted mining camp, unless he's built over the top of it. Which could be the case, but not 100% sure. 5 spears now defending on this position. Lamentinite coming out. Villagers also getting pulled, just chilling out. He's going to pop the Akritoid defenses at the same time, looking to take out this outpost rush before it even comes through. You can see it currently sits at a decent amount, but now Lamentinite looking to try and take the brunt of those attacks. Vill's turning around once again and utilizing the Akritoid defenses perfectly. Hardens comes through for the Lamentinite, getting that nice little upgrade, a bit more health, a little bit more damage, and the Spears are having so much trouble dealing with this. They're going to have to head back home because there is no way they are getting this outpost up. What a defense by FAQ, and demonstrating the power of the Byzantines right there. Wow, that is not something I considered, but I tell you what, if there's one thing that makes you never want to tower rush a Byzantine player, it has got to be Akritoid defense. Wow. Extra 2 armor, extra attack. I think it works out to be 1 extra attack for your Akritoid defense, because your base attack is 6 and it goes up to 7 with that. Wow, I am so impressed by that. That was ludicrous. All right, well, we got ourselves out a game right here. Mongol enjoyers PTFO. I think that's probably the best way to say it, but let's check in over on the other side of the map, as we've got landmarks coming up now for our Mongol player. It's going to be the Silver Tree. No real surprise there. Silver Tree, obviously a really strong landmark, and great if you're going to stay around in the feudal age as well. Allows you to essentially boom, and we've got pretty decent spawns on this map for the trade post, so I'm expecting he's probably going to get some big trade numbers in. But archery range now going to come down here, looking to expand out against those Lamentinite. Remember, he's not actually played into the Hippodrome in this matchup, and I think that makes a lot of sense, right? When we think about matchups where it makes sense, or I guess the point I'm trying to make is there are matchups that naturally have a bonus or an advantage towards some. As an example, if you're playing the English, you make a council hall. That's an archery range. That's going to get countered by the French that make a school of cavalry. Naturally, the cavalry is going to counter archers. Obviously, there's ways to play around it, but we can see how that might play out. By the same token here, going against a Mongol player, you're likely, very likely to see early spearmen, and because of that, seeing early spearmen is going to mean that going for the Hippodrome is just going to hurt you, because your enemy's already got the answer to your question. Your question is, what units am I going to make? And you make a Hippodrome, you're going to be making cavalry, and they've already got the answer. The answer is spearmen, and that's where it is smart for FAQ in this situation to be going for the Grand Winery. I see a couple of other matchups where I think it might make sense to go for the Grand Winery. So playing against the Ayyubids, playing against the Abbasid, because of the camels, it just makes 100% sense to avoid even thinking about cavalry in those matchups, just because it's not going to go well for you. It doesn't matter how many cataphracts you make. At the end of the day, you're just going to be up against difficult numbers. So I think because of that, FAQ doing a really good job here, recognizing, you know what, I think we need to go to the Grand Winery here, and now collecting. Have a look at the olive oil he's got in the bank, 300. He's already got javelin throwers in queue. I'm loving it at this point. This is a beautiful little opening that he's got, but I'm curious to see how long he decides spending in the castle, or rather in the feudal age, and how quickly he looks to try and get up to the castle age. He is starting to get some decent walls going here as well. So we'll have to wait and see how he plays it out, but at this stage in the game, FAQ playing a solid opening here with the Byzantines. I'm a big fan. Let's check in with Urk, though. See how he's doing. As it looks like the traders are yet to make their way across the map. He doesn't even have any in queue at this stage, but at least he's got it pointed over towards that side of the map. You know, just getting ready for it. There we go. Finally, the first of the traders is now coming through, and the Keshiks are online as well. Look at how quickly he split off. You know, we talked about the fact that he didn't go into the Hippodrome because his enemy already had the answer to the Hippodrome, that being the Spearmen. But you can just see right now that it's Keshiks, it's archers, it's everything but the counter to what he would have had. So really smart move. But now we can see the Lamentinite coming out. Looks like the shield wall not going to be coming out just yet. Remember, shield wall really strong early on in this game. Looks like he's actually popped it. Yeah, you can see he's popped it. He's running a little bit slower. I don't know if that's how... Oh my god, look at this combination. The deadly combination in the feudal age. Javelin thrower together with the Lamentinite. I love this. Oh my gosh, I tell you what, I'm having so much fun casting these Byzantine games, because, you know, when it comes to Byzantine balance, I'll give you guys a bit of insight, but often talking about it with the high-level guys, the one theme that comes into it is let them cook. Give them time to work up their magic, because at the moment we see them, we're on 40% win rate. It's not looking pretty. but give them time to learn. Give them time to learn the matchups, give them time to learn the openings. What's the most efficient way to play this civilization? As you guys know, you need a PhD for this civilization. It's not an easy civ to play by any means. There's a lot of levers you can pull, and you need to know which ones you can pull and which ones you shouldn't be pulling in certain matchups. And now we're starting to see just the level of complexity that this civ is really offering. The fact that you've got a choice of 3 different mercenary lines to go down and how that can impact your game. In this situation, I would have been like, you know what? I'm just going to go, instead of going javelins, I would have gone into longbows. And you can see how that would have impacted this situation differently. But now, have a look at this. Keshik's going to come through here. FAQ, absolutely no clue. First villager will go down for him. Unfortunate timing there, but he does have the wall on that south side. I love this little wall on the back here, just in case. I think he did it just simply because he didn't have line of sight. And it's just easier. That way you can set it and forget it. But now the numbers really starting to build here. This is looking great for FAQ. I got to be honest, I'm liking this way to play as the Byzantines. This is looking really solid. I mean, you're kind of role-playing here as the Malians, but with unique spears that are just insane. One other thing I just want to address, bit of an elephant in the room, the wall at the front. You might think that the wall is good, right? Because, you know, it's protecting you. It's not. You got a huge opening right here, right here, right here, right here. You got to close it. Just close it. Make yourself a little bit safer, and it's just going to feel really, really damn well. Got to be careful of that chop through as well. But we'll keep on playing, keep on cooking, and let's see exactly what FAQ is going to be cooking up for us today. Another thing to note as well, going into the javelin thrower is quite nice because you don't have to go for steeled arrow early on. I feel like this is a little bit of a mistake. I mean, it kind of makes sense against armored units or against cavalry, but for the most part, the javelin throwers are going to be looking to hit off on the enemy archers, and they're always going to be overkilling enemy archers. Even with the number that we've got here, we've got 8 javelin throwers, so they're doing 12 damage a pop. So 8 times 12, you're looking at 96 damage, and when you compare that to an archer that's got 70 health, like, you're overkilling that easily at this stage. And just remember, you're going to be adding in even more javelin throwers behind this. So the idea with the javelin throwers is that you want to be focusing down those archers. You don't really want to be attacking into the Keshiks because you've got the Lamentinai there to help you out. And especially with the shield wall taking or having reduced damage, it really just comes down to being able to whittle down your opponent's forces and then being able to I think ideally you want to pair this with Khyrosophon. I think would go perfectly with this. This could be the way right here to play the Byzantines. Maybe we are witnessing the beginning of the Byzantine meta developing. Could this be it? We'll have to wait and see though as Urk begins to make his way towards his top side. One thing to note as well is that there is trade going on the backside of this. 6 traders already through. It's building up a nice little villager lead at the moment. Couple of archers beginning to move forward. Town center going to be garrisoning. Nice job. Coming through. He's looking to try and bring him underneath the TC here. He's going to pop down that movement speed. Villagers on the back. Oh, this could be terrible for him. Oh, he's found a heap of villagers on this top side. Oh, the town center. Who cares about the town center? Who cares about the units underneath it, mate? We're taking out the villagers. He's cleaned up at least 1, 2. I think at least 2 villagers there. We see an archer on the ground here. Now at the backside, oh, we might have a nice little bit of a trap playing in. You can see the spears, or rather Lamentinai, trying to come through javelin throwers, dealing with the archers easily. And I think this is going to be a cleanup on the side of the Byzantines. He lost a couple of villagers here, but it looks like he might not be able to get away with a complete army retrieval? Not retrieval, army retreatal. Retreatal? Is that even a word? I don't know. We just made it a word. Javelin throwers teeing off towards some of these Keshiks, and you can see they actually do a fair chunk of damage right there, but he's still managing to take out villagers. And still, unfortunately, with that infant... Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord, he's coming. Indeed, he's coming. Throws up the Scouting Falcon as well. And the Javelin's doing a decent job of cleaning this up. The most important part from this right now is that we see a recovery come out from the Byzantine player. He needs to hit trade. Straight away needs to hit trade. He's gone and checked for it earlier in the game. I don't know whether he's confirmed the landmark at this stage, but he needs to go and get himself... Like, he needs to hit back. You've got to clap back straight away after that, especially because you've had a nice little victory. So there's 2 options that you can do. Number 1 is that you can look to try and go up to the castle age here because you've taken a really good fight. So it means your enemy's going to need to make units, whereas you don't need to make units. And the other option is that you double down in feudal and you look to play heavy into some sort of siege combo. You could definitely go for. Jeez, look at the numbers, the health numbers on these units. It's not looking pretty right now. Keshiks absolutely getting torn apart by these javelin throwers. Townsend is going to be here to provide a bit of cover fire. He's going to lose everything right there. And geez, FAQ is in a hell of a position right now, and he does the exact right thing. I need to see siege engineering coming through right now. Where is siege engineering? It's already through. It's time, baby. Get the fire out. We are sending the Mongols to where they belong. It's the next game, baby. Oh, I'm excited to see this. Now we see a response coming through before it can even be thrown out. It's going to be superior mobility. He spots the trader as well. Immediately, right now, I would love to see from FAQ is just a straight response to the fact that his opponent is trading, and that's walling in the trade post. That's exactly how you want to just immediately respond with. Just say, look, I know that you got traders on the map. I'm going to worry about it later. Here, have a wall, and let's just focus on what's happening at the front here. 18 villagers on wood now for FAQ. Let's switch it over 15 minutes through the game. I think it's about time. A little bit of a mistake, I'd say, pushing into this town center. You're asking to give away your advantage. Ideally, you'd have a Harusaphon with you. Ideally, you'd have 2. Ideally, you'd have 3. I mean, I'm just talking about ideals at this point, but this is dangerous right now. That you're quite literally playing with fire underneath this Mongol town center. Of course, there are villagers inside ready to hit on any potential siege, but the reality is that you're just losing units slowly. It's going to take a while for your reinforcements to come through. Look at the minimap. There's nothing on the minimap out here. And on top of that, the Mongol numbers just continue to build. Look at this. All of the archery rangers working overtime to try and deal with this. A little bit of a mistake by FAQ right here. Massive mistake, actually, that's coming out. Look at the number of javelin throwers slowly being whittled down. And I think this is a really bad move. FAQ slowly trying to force these units away, but I think he realizes he's overextended. The town center's down to half health, but at the end of the day, you could have just gone back, made a couple of Harusaphons. You already have siege engineering. I don't know why you just didn't wait for it. Huge mistake coming through. He pops the shield wall, moving a little bit slower, and you can see the javelin throwers just getting torn apart by the town center. It's doing a wonderful job of dealing with them slowly but steadily. And that's going to be it. Look at this. The reinforcements coming through. There's more units on the way, but it's just Lamantinai. And he's got plenty of archery rangers, 3 archery rangers to deal with this. Plenty of archers on the backside. Keshik's going to come through and just clean it up completely. A huge misplay there by FAQ. You have to feel like he was probably in the moment, very, very hot. And just wasn't really thinking rationally. All he had to do was make a Harusaphon or 2 right here and just chill out with John Cena in the back of the limousine, have the ice cream in hand, chilling. That's all he needed to do. But he threw it all away. And for what? Villager count at the moment, it's relatively close. However, there is an elephant in the room, and it's not really an elephant, it's more of a trader. Let's take a look at what Urk is trading with. He's got 15 traders, and look at the difference between these two guys. It's exactly 15. Exactly what you would expect. But now, looks like FAQ is going to be doing the right thing. We don't have any double-sided trade just yet. I mean, we've got one out there, but he's got to be careful with the oh my god. I'm starting to feel a little bit like a rap god here. I'm going too quick for my own damn good. So what do we need? More Lamantinai up the top. Yep, that'll do. But I'm starting to feel like we need some walls up here. So you could probably get away with a wall from maybe across here and then just over and around like that. I guess you could probably also wall in the trade post itself with the new way that things clip. I think you can actually wall to the trade post, which means you could just wall the corners in perfectly. So that would be another option for him. So now that FAQ's lost his army, where does he go from here? Because number one, he knows about trade. Okay, so the big thing here for him is this is a really tough spot for FAQ to come back from. Why is it hard for him to come back from? Because he knows his opponent has got trade, and trade has got a very low barrier for investment, which means that his enemy is able to invest in trade while at the same time still keeping their military pumping. The problem for FAQ here is he needs to pump military because he just lost all of his military out on the battlefield underneath the enemy's town center. However, if he does that, he's going to be behind on the economic front as well, because his opponent is trading. So now you're in this tough position of, what do I do? And I'll be honest with you, I don't know the answer. I think definitely what he's doing with regard to the walls makes sense. You want to get walls up. You want to try and buy some time, get some distance between your enemy and you. So walls definitely make sense here. I think going into a second town center could work, but the problem is you're up against Mongol trade, and he's already got a pretty good run on you at this point. So you could look to go Castle Age and try and find a timing. The problem's going to be, by the time you get there, the Mongol player will have responded. Let's have a look and see. He's going to go for that Castle Age. He's got a level 3 system connection at the moment. Not the highest. Where's his third connection? I don't see the third connection. I see one down here, and I see one in the base. Oh, and here. Gosh, I'm literally blind. This could be awkward. 11 villagers slowly working it up. Lamantinai going to come down. Okay, he's got the numbers on this side of the wall, but the archers are here. He knows how important it is to defend this. You can see the archers just able to focus down the javelin throwers now. Lamantinai going to try and block that, doing a decent job. Shield wall's going to come out here. Numbers looking pretty good for FAQ. Still managing to get to the Castle Age. I think from this position here, the most important thing is to drop a siege workshop and get a mangonel out as quickly as he possibly can. Still pushing really far, really deep. He needs to get back to his walls, needs to get this re-wall back up. The age up comes through. This is when he does not want to fight. He's just aged up. He's at a power spike right now. Well, not right now. He needs to wait for his veterancy upgrades to come through first, but you can see, I don't think he's going to have time for it. He's now got the Golden Horn Towers online. It's going to take some time before these Javelin Throwers are out. Another 90 seconds. Didn't get that re-wall off. Didn't get a gate down either. And now all of a sudden he's under pressure towards that north side. This is what I was saying about, you know, you can go for that castle age, but it's going to catch up to you. Your enemy will catch up to you really quickly. It's 1,800 resources for castle versus 750 for a second TC. And that's where I think maybe the second TC could have been the play. Urk now looking to push through. Up against his Byzantine opponent, we're going to enter into the cinematic mode as he's trying to bait out a fight. And that's exactly what he's going to do as he continues to kite away. The shield wall comes in and you can see just how much damage they're able to mitigate as that single, the single Lametni manages to stay alive through all of the fire and the flames. Let's check in on the other side of the map. I want to see how Urk is doing. 23 traders, and this is what makes Mongol trade so damn dangerous. You know, we talk about landmarks and scaling, and, you know, you've got the Grand Winery here, like, la-di-da. Yeah, well, look who's got trade over here. This is just next level trade right now. Traders bringing in 74. I mean, you ideally want all of your traders on this route to the north. The traders to the south, it's still good. It's just nowhere near as good as it could be. Golden Horn Tower could also get split off here on the south position. Another thing to be careful of. Javelin throwers still don't yet have their veterancy coming through. Veterancy on the Lametni on the way. But now he's looking for it. It's just going to be Lametni together with the Javelin throwers. Age up comes through for his opponent. Kurultai is ready. It's on the field. Remember, he's got that superior mobility. The Kurultai will be racing towards this battlefield right now. Expect to see veterancy for the well, we got Keshiks and Horsemen and Archers. So I'm going to go with veterancy for the Archers, +2 for the Archers, and veterancy for the Horsemen. Let's have a look and see how we do. Should be all 3 of those upgrades. Let's check. Oh, and he's done the Keshiks as well. Fair enough. Fair enough. You know, you want to do the Keshiks, you got 4 of them on the field. I'll let you. 6 of them now. Very, very smart moves, though, coming from Urk. He knows exactly what's up, and I think this is it, right? One of the big things when you're going castle that's important is you need to plan for it. It's like anything, but you really, really need to plan for castle. As soon as you hit castle, ideally, you want to be clicking all of those upgrades, right? Like, you want your veterancy to come through from the barracks. You want to be looking for your blacksmith upgrade. Ideally, you want your teardrop shields, because that's going to increase the movement speed of your Varangian guards, which is going to help them out once they've got that shield wall up, because it means that they're going to be going faster, but it also means that the reduction on their movement speed is going to be less significant. So that's another thing to note. Kurultai going to be moving up as close as it can possibly get to the enemy base. Veterancy now online for Urk. He does have veterancy up for FAQ here. Do we have a siege workshop? Please tell me there's a siege workshop somewhere on this map. And it doesn't look like it. FAQ not going to be playing siege workshop at this stage. And now on the defense, it looks like one of the system levels will go down. Begins to make his way through. He's definitely got a nice advantage here on the defense. The pocket's good. Going to prevent that surface area from the cavalry, but the Kurultai is online. Keep that in mind. And now that composition that's coming out. Varangian guards to the fore as well. Looks like we got attack speed on the backside. Lametni doing a decent job here, but kiting back are those archers. Couple javelin throwers going to get caught up on the Kurultai at the front. You got to make sure that they're focusing the right units. It can always be difficult when you got attack move working its magic. It always prioritizes anything that's closer to it. You can see them still firing off towards it. I don't know how much it's going to help out, but now those Lametni, he's struggling with the mobility of them. The javelin throwers are up quite far. You got to pull these bad boys back. But now still just rinsing and repeating over and over and over again, bringing that cavalry in, moving that cavalry back, and slowly working those Lametni down. And geez, these battles are lasting for a long time. The Lametni with the reduction in the amount of damage that they take, and together with the healing coming out from the archers, or from the Kurultai, just means it's so hard. But now he's going to commit. Lametni on the front, really looking to just brace up everything. The javelin throw on the back. It's a big surround coming through from the Mongol player. It looks like Urk may have it in this position as more Varangian guards come in from the back. We don't see the berserking used from him at this stage, but we hear the Khan go down. That could be it. You guys know when the Khan goes down, the game is over, but it doesn't look like it's over for Urk at this stage, and the numbers still looking pretty good. The hold is on. I tell you what, man, a single mangonel would have changed this fight completely. The Kurultai helps out with the healing, but I don't even think it's going to matter at this stage. I think this might be game. I think FAQ might be having to head to the drawing board and ask himself another question as to what he could have done in this situation. And I feel like the biggest thing he could have done was just wait for the Kharosophons. He had the siege engineering. He had plenty of vills on wood. He could have just bided his time and waited for the Kharosophons to come online. 2 would have been fine. 3 would have been a dime. But unfortunately, today, it looks like the time is up for FAQ here. It's only going to be a matter of time until he asks his last question. And it's going to be, how many G's should I be typing? Should it be 2 or should it be 0? You know, there are some games that you play and it's just like, this is a 0 GG game. This is the game where I just Alt F4 and I feel like this could be it because it was in his hands. It was within his grasp. He could have had it right here. But unfortunately, it's just one of those little miscalculations, those things that you forget. And now continuing to push into the enemy base. If he's able to get under this olive oil heartland, this could be the end of it. And indeed, it is, ladies and gentlemen. That is going to be it. Make sure you check out Urk. I'm going to leave a link in the description of where you can watch him live over on Twitch. He doesn't stream that often, but he's a very good player, as he's just demonstrated. Fellas, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed this content. And of course, we'll catch you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.